Sanibonani bafethu, and this is your boy Ukatlego Ntariana Mula, aka Mr. Soweto Mafele Moteba, aka Mr. Cool himself. Welcome to Kota and Chill bafethu. Welcome to a PSE channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comment down below. City Soweto, Siketo, and make sure you click your membership button bafethu to become a member and get exclusive content. Cabango petito against Aishisa. When you petito is not a pony, a man exclusive Soweto. By the way, I'm on this call, yeah. Ipoza ke ezinja ke khohlwa mvuthile yeah Ntariana mvuthile ke futhi isiqeda ukuelecta abantu nje kuyanyiwa nje ngama nohulumani lami ezinye zezinja famously known bafethu uNota Baloyi bafethu Baloyi hayi Baloyi abantu abaloyayo Baloyi so uhulumani lami ngiyabonga man ukuthi uzile showini yami.
No problem, no worries.
In fact, mangiphethe abantu abakanje lokushini yakubonisa la ile ngokuthi anything is possible yabo. You don't need to wait for opportunities, you just need to build your own opportunities. Ama-Godman afana no-Godman akhona zokusupport. Like lonke ngimshaya nge-text athi kusasa like nathuka ngamothi yeah. But shout out ngiyabonga Godman abantu abafana nani yini enenza show ukuthi sifakele emandleni.
No problem.
Thank you Godman la.
Sure.
Ngicela ungishayela abantu bami baseSoweto warm welcome Godman ubani zikhipha kanjani.
Kanti yaseSoweto le podcast.
Yeah, ngishayela Soweto Siketo but then whatever Soweto Kilfat.
Okay, no, sure. Hola Matenge. Welcome to Kota and Chill.
So
what did Kota lam?
Yes, what's Kota and Chill without a Kota?
Ila uphi la FM.
Yeah, the Kota and Chill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm a Kota was a Kota and Chill. To make sure you pull up and buy and support about Kota wait. I will shout out to notice one time. Yabo. So Godman lam abantu ekhaya bathanda ukubona mina ngine structure sami la ekhaya yabo which is get to know uGodman uNota before uGodman yabo ubuncane bakho ugeleze va yabona background story kaGodman sazi ukuthi yini into enze uGodman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's much I can say. Ngikhulele la maybe for 3 years. Zone 2. Full Street. And then Sasuwa say Olympic was a Princeton. And then from there to Blogostrat.
Yeah.
So that's my story.
So how was life as a young yabo? Because abantu bayeza abantu baseSoweto most of the time badlala ibhola abanye bacula wena wenza
I was only 3 when I left, so it was just it was an adventure.
Adventure how?
Like it was an adventure. More cooler, everything is an adventure. So yeah, it was nice, I guess, as a memory. But social as an adult becomes a bit different. So by the time maybe when was it? 20 years later, after I left Soweto, I started living in Clout. Mainly for work purposes, but I got the experience of Kladikas as an adult. The difference between Soweto and Clout is that Clout flat. Yeah. And then Soweto obviously it's got hills, Yeah, so it's a little bit different. But also like Soweto ngobindala namanyamakas. Like a lot of people get trapped in the Soweto life, like Pile Soweto, like our born amanyamakazi, like our Vagash, so I never really got trapped into that life. I'm being Vagash, so it's not like and we're actually what you call Macris.
Oh, Makoko.
Yeah, Magazwa.
Yeah, shout out.
From a white city Jawaf. So, I guess Soweto life is something that I know.
Yeah. Because more cool mangi Soweto yabo. Mina mangi Soweto ngithi sikhethu kahle ngithi yonke indawo ighethu. Like no more segate ekugcineni ngabe
Yeah,
Soweto.
well, ne-proof extension, so
Yeah, one.
So extension nasepimvini nobusuburb nyana.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still ghetto.
Sasegate.
But nokuphuma nge-night dress.
Yeah, one.
Ngegawa.
Yeah, one.
I wish that can stop.
Mara basayenze kazi because manje abantwana basekazi basiphethe kahle manje sesighetto fabulous. Like manje kusasele la ghetto leliyana ukuthi manje kunomuntu nge-newspaper negawu engawashwanga yayibona. Nekhalamani ukhuluma indaba zabantu bana sazenzi lezo. Manje sazenzi sesiphusha innovation why. So angikhuluma noHotman Nota singakhuluma ngeculture hip hop yaze Soweto obviously ku-pro yabazi iSoweto yayazi kwiKhiwo uyayazi yonke.
Yeah.
Iqhume kanjani into le?
Pro was my performer for my 18th birthday.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, that was in March 2008.
So, ubazi kanjani? Ekhona la kwabazi kanjani introduce kanjani ku-industry because wintwana ekhulayo suke Soweto emabhebs uyavalela. So, ubazi kanjani?
No, not really.
Go xoxa na.
No, not
Because
really.
thina senza ama-cheese boy waphuma.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say being a cheese boy.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, we weren't the richest in the burbs. In fact, I was the brokest kid in the burbs. So I had access to business in Vange taxi, one is danger, no Vagashe Katsi, one Galema crazy, maybe spend the weekend and stuff like that. So, isn't the beings born?
Yeah.
And then Lanke is a corner for a high school, like in England, Abayeda, Babuye Soweto. So, it was big. Yeah. So Benkel is a Brixton, call. And I think there was a lot of hip hop culture just growing among in high school. But already from Ekaslam we were already listening to hip hop. Already based in Ama City, based by some mixtape, Dangerlo, Senzama beats, software, Snama Fruit Loops in Danger. So already from being in the burbs I had access to all those things like in the Fruit Loops ne studio sasendlini, like I think this was in those 2011, 2012 figures.
Sure.
So it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Manje wonke umuntu ne studio.
Manje so manje.
Wonke umuntu ne sound card ne what you call.
Yeah, yonke
audio interface. So thina sicala kudala. Yeah. So with that, bengenza ama beats, and then obviously mawufuna things ama beats you need to go to shows, hlangana nabomrapper bagama City, bagama USB uthi nama beats wami. So I think that's how I met Pro. At some point in time I was giving him some beats to listen to, and that's my 18th birthday is coming up, and then he's like, no, Nganje
15K.
Yeah, I'm not clear. Alandi new engine. I'm going to deposit 5K. Was a scaler. I think in when I had to sit back after ilang lacht.
RPC glad. Yeah.
So Orlando sit ilang lacht, and then one lang I'm going to and then a couple of weeks later some guy check a corner for the balance, and then and then performed at my birthday. But it wasn't like a success of a successful gig. It wasn't really that successful because I think we just had a gig around Valentine's Day, robot party.
Yeah.
Before then, and what happened is that the first party that Amachita did, we did a party December 2017. It was a dope party. And then Science I think I made 4K profit. I put in 2K, came back with 6K when we split the money. By the time it was time to do the second gig, February, I'm actually down for no, they've got enough money, so they don't need my contribution anymore. So Ngalandeni into yam who was also, we were all partners. That I know. Let's do our own thing, Tina. C2 on the side. And then that's when we did my birthday party, like a month later. And then it wasn't a success, I can't say it was a big success. I think I lost money on that one. Yeah, but it was at least me doing it without the guys that we started with, Brick City. So we set up our own company, SoFed Entertainment, myself and my partner Eli at the time. And then we just started doing even more gigs. And then I think 3 months later, we did the Elias's album launch. Yeah, and that gig we were doing to make back the money that we lost on that first gig. I think in that first gig we were like we owed the club like 11,000.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that was tough.
Yes, yes.
And then the Elias album launch, that was a success. You know, the club owner ended up getting his money. But then we worked with this other guy who was the marketing manager of Metro FM at the time. No, that was the next gig actually. So no, the Elias gig was June 20th, 2008.
Oh yeah.
So I think after that it was what's this guy? Akon did a concert in April. On the April 11th, so we called that the 411 party. And because the club that we're using is just down the road from the Dome,
okay,
you know, it was like easy to get people to say, hey, here's an after party.
Sure.
It's the next club down the road.
Sure.
So that one was okay. I think we were able to settle our debt or break even, and like we made like a 1,500 profit. And then we did the Elias launch. That paid back whatever debt we owed the club owner. And then we did the 50 Cent concert after party. And then that's the one where the former marketing manager of Metro FM at the time, Olutu Oyan, stole our money and went to Sun City.
Yeah.
I don't know if he went to the Summers or he went to, I don't know what he was doing.
Oh yeah, P.
Yeah. No, actually that party happened before the Elias gig. So the Elias gig was after that. Yeah. So we did the Elias gig and then our debts were covered. And then yeah, from there I started doing gigs on my own, you know. And that wasn't as successful. You know, the gig, doing shows is risky business, it's not guaranteed. Plus I never wanted to work for the club because, you know, a lot of guys were working for the club, like they were promoters.
I'm a host, so
Yeah, well, promoters.
Yeah.
The hosts are there to, you know, party with people, and the organizers, like paid by clubs, they book the talent, they, you know, they run the events all the time. So I never wanted to do that. I felt like I was limiting me, and it was going to take away from me focusing on music, you know. So doing that got me good relationships with guys, you know. When you're a guy who's just selling beats, it's like you're a dime a dozen. Everyone's selling beats, but what the rappers want is a gig. They want work.
Yeah.
So if you're offering them work, I've got money for you, come perform. Your relationship is different. They treat you differently. So already, even though I was a kid, because I was booking these guys, they treated me like, you know, a client.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. More than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's basically the history.
Ne, so
how I got to know these guys. Yeah.
Ne, so kahle kahle khona manje bafethu lezi thina manje sikhola sishama event lezi zenza ukuthi singalali emakhaya. So ukutshela ukuthi ukushama event kune risk because ungafaka imali ungenzi profit.
Yeah, it's up and down. You know, it's up and down. And also right now, the way in which the industry is structured is it's just not good for the artists, because what's happened is that events and gigs and festivals, and they've just got too big lineups. The lineups are too big, and the people are now used to a big lineup. They don't even care who's on the lineup. They know like it's going to be 20,000 people on the lineup. Okay, not 20,000, but at least 20. Like if you go to Marubenja on a weekend, the lineup is full,
packed.
You know, the lineup is packed.
Yeah.
The place is always packed because it's, you know, it's a place where people go on Mondays. It's like you don't have to go too far.
Yeah.
You know, and plus the markup on drinks is not crazy
Yeah.
as the birds. So it becomes just a hangout. But now this hangout You got all the biggest DJs week in, week out. Nothing is special about it anymore. So that's really making the industry a little bit harder as well. Because unless you're in the industry and you've got relationships, chances are that you're not going to be able to fill the lineup without having to ask for any favors. And if you're not asking for favors, it's going to cost you a lot. So you're going to need sponsors. And now what we're training the audience to do is go to festivals at a club instead of going to a club for the residents and then maybe 1 or 2 special guests. You know what I mean? If any show I go to, I can see the whole top 20 on Apple Music. You can see MAPHORISA, everyone, Youngster,
every week.
Then when Youngster does his show, one man, I'm not gonna go. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and then that, you know, it kills the artists in terms of their growth, because then they can't demand the fees that they would be getting. Your artist should be demanding at least between 50 to 70% of the ticket sales, right? And then the rest of the cost of the show should be like 30% at most of the show. So if you've got a venue, let's say a venue that fits 2,000 people, and you're selling a ticket at 50 Rand each, that's like what, 100,000. So the production should cost you like 30,000. And then the entertainment should cost you 70,000 at most. You know, and that's when you're making money. But I mean, there's no one who's going to book any artist. You're not going to book Usma money 70,000. You understand what I'm saying? Don't worry. I know. So you know, I mean, I'm just using him as an example because he's a new artist. But even though he's a new artist, like in his career, the way in which the industry is going, he'll never be able to demand that. Because he's unable to do his own show, you know, and have a crowd. And also the temptation to gig is just too much because people are looking for quick money, not trying to build their audience. You know, if you build your audience over time, and you've got that following, and then people know that, when this guy does a show, it's packed and it's a good performance, then you're in a better position as an artist. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone listened to this new Zonke album that she just dropped. Like, she just dropped an album. It wasn't on streaming services, then you had to buy a USB to get it, then it finally came onto streaming services. But her fan base are people that buy tickets to a show. So it didn't really matter. And they don't care about whether she drops new music or not. But she knows that when she puts a poster out, Carnival City, that's 3,500 people at 200 Rand each, 700,000 minimum. You know what I mean?
Because then they're hearing because most of my artists on my piano we are like us. You understand? In Pincham, to hit in Pincham. So it's still a favor. So upukwa my favor, like ubona umuntu anamagika amaningi mara rider, ama favor, mara shy part aside. Ndoda sekubone the whole month every day. Ufuna ngize ku one man show yakho.
And also the one man show has got how many other people? You know, it's dependent on the lineup. It's not really a one man show. So again, like if you got special guests, I understand, but if the show is dependent on having other people there, you're not going to grow as an artist. In fact, you're a sitting duck, because there's going to be a new artist that people are excited by that they haven't seen. And then why not every time they see you, your value depreciates. You know what I mean? So we still got to fix that. And also just Kasi mentality, like Kasi mentality is also another thing. Like I'm actually sick of saying God. Number one, like as you do as young kid. And that's a very big problem. Like you'll never learn if you don't go out there with an open mind. You know what I mean? And so that Kasi mentality of like, you know, thinking you know everything, that's in the Shamachi. Like a lot of guys blew up from 2020 to 2024, but we can't say many of them are still around or still relevant. You know what I mean? And it's just a self-sabotaging thing like that. I find like Amachita Sekas, they like to sabotage themselves. As soon as things are going good, they'll start doing things to mess everything up. I mean, yeah, but yeah, even a guy like him, like, you know, like, unina kuzo.
Ish.
You know what I mean?
And like Maravella, what do you take about the Chevy situation? Like, ngoba sesisekasi vele.
Well, I mean, for me, the way I see it is like all these artists, they know who are the people that came before them, that know what they're doing, and they'll spend however much money trying to, you know, call girls that they just met randomly that won't do anything for them, but they can't call someone to ask for advice. You understand?
Wait up.
And also, as an OG, it's like you don't want to be reaching out to these youngins because, like, they don't respect it, they don't appreciate it. You know what I mean? But you're tired, so like then there's that disconnect. So they're not learning anything, and we're not teaching anything. So, you know, our whole entire industry suffers. Like everybody suffers because of that. And the biggest suffering is that the kids suffer. The kids, the youngins suffer.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who have got like role models to look up to, and then like everyone that they look up to ends up falling off.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Sharp.
Everyone's got that expiry date. And then another thing is like just in the industry, there's people are not investing in themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but in our investing,
yeah, they invest in things that are everything else that's not about the craft. You know, it's like you don't see them rehearsing every day.
Yeah.
You know, I was like DJing for the most in-demand live act, and we used to rehearse like 2 or 3 times a week for 3 hours. You know?
Yeah.
Same show that we do, but we'd rehearse it and refine it the whole entire time. And it was a well-oiled machine. I don't see the kids of today doing that. They only rehearse when they've got a big show coming up.
But the same sound check, sound check,
they don't even sound check.
Sound check.
They don't even sound check. You know what I mean? Like sound checking means you have to wake up early in the morning, get to the show. At least sound check time is between 9 a.m. and 11. You know?
Yeah.
When everything is set up, you have to do that.
The
kids of today, they don't even care. You know, they're just there for the check. They're there to post
the
on
rider.
IG. Yeah, maybe even the rider. It's still a good time. And you know, nizowakhumbula la magig.
Masisiphele space. Angitshela kwamalanga, when do you like
Masekuphela memory.
yeah, masekuphela memory. Ngizokhumbula la magig. So when I got man eyiphi into okwazama ukureach out abona ukuthi le nto iphume endleleni. Yithi ngizama ukureach out ukukhuluma naye.
Probably MT.
Wazama ukureach out ku-MT.
Yeah, we went to many times. Like I even sat with his parents, like his dad. I met with his in-laws, his wife's parents as well. I went to their house. You know, when I was whining.
Yeah, ngasikhathi
Yeah, I don't know if they sugile or not, but like, yeah, just a lot was happening. Yeah, just a lot was happening. So you know.
Yeah. So when I'm reach out to you, utheni kwenzakaleni ukhulumeni nama-parent wakhe utheni iphele kanjani?
I wanted to find out what was going on, so I went to him. You know, he told me what the story was, what the case was. Okay, cool. Then I went to his wife's family, and then she told me what was there. Then her parents also told me what was going on, and then and then I was like, okay, fine. Now I see what's up, and then. Yeah, I guess, you know, one could observe through his behavior beyond that, and I was like, you know what, he's on a self-destructive path, and the last thing he needs to do is be supported in, you its own demise, because that's what you get with a whole lot of artists, that the people around them support them, knowing that they're killing themselves or they're punishing themselves. So that was the one thing that I wanted to, at least be honest with them, because a lot of people, they're not honest with these guys, and they don't tell them what's going on. So yeah,
Nafiki Kota is a Kota in chill. What's Kota in chill without a Kota? Shout out to Snoties on time. Shout out to Kota in chill on time. See if I can imagine a good man.
I know, yeah.
Oh,
this one's got egg, it's a little too much.
Oh, I will keep it.
I like my Kota with just maybe Russian choked me once, so I'm not a fan of Russian. They choked on a Russian, yeah. Maybe died.
Yeah, you're wrong, not today.
Yeah, you need to chew properly.
Yeah.
But sometimes the skin on the Russian is, I don't know, it's like plastic.
Yeah, sometimes. You know, we're not partisan and not 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, the intended good engines really, man.
Just a plain Kota with chips. Special.
It's cool, man.
Mince.
It means,
what else? Yeah, no, just a plain basic Kota.
Ne, I'm saying it means so keep a share on the tail.
Yeah, I don't like the Kota that's like too like
the mountain call.
You know the problem is, guys, you guys watch American TV, ne?
Yeah.
And then you watch all these TV shows in America, but you've never been to America, so you can't smell the food on TV, and you can't taste the food, you can't see it. American food has no taste. It's shit. Their food is shit. All their food is shit.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like if you go to Nando's in America, it's the worst Nando's you'll ever eat.
Yeah?
Yeah. They don't get the chicken here. It's got GMO, brine chicken. It's ugly. It's disgusting.
Oh.
So for them, that's why they have to fry their things with so many things, because their food is disgusting.
No.
So that's why they embellish it with so many things. It's necessary there. You know what I mean? But here, it's not necessary. Because our food has got taste, you know what I mean? And we don't have as many, as much GMO food or antibiotics. These are the things that are actually making people sick as well. Yeah, all those types of things. But before I even came here, I had a ribeye steak, a medium. So ribeye, it's like prime rib, like the best piece of steak you can get, and it's high in zinc. Yeah. Any steakhouse that's proper has got a ribeye.
Okay.
That's the one.
No, so
it looks like a giant lamb chop.
It's
like beef. It's like a big one, but it looks like a giant lamb chop. Yeah.
So Godman angijele sibe fakele emandleni vye bom kuze Godman umuntu ofana na kumele ngimnike information. So uthi uMT team yakhe problem imbhayile iskele memtshela ivari.
Well, I wouldn't say he doesn't have a team. Uname bench. And the problem is that the hierarchy is that he's the boss. You see what I mean? So when the artist is the boss and he's the cash cow, it's bad for business. You know what I mean? Because, as a human being, you need a different level of self-discipline as a business or a representative of a business. So, there's no one to, like, kuze, no one does kuze.
Oh.
Yeah, so that becomes a problem. So, I mean, I guess I was just encouraged that at least his wife is committed to, holding him down and taking care of the kids and the family and stuff like that. I think that was my biggest worry, is that, he was just doing wild things and it's affecting the kids. I mean, the kids are growing. I think Avery is turning 10 next year. Yeah? When was Avery born? Avery was born 2015.
2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, I'll shut 10 next year. Yes, I was making this in a Pelasaya born at the time like internet.
Born. not only that, all the other kids at school.
It's
You know, so it's just like seeing him in the condition that he's in right now. It's just sad for me, you know, because yeah, you love a person's music, but like if we can't take you seriously, then you're a loss to the hood. You know what I mean? Like we lost Zola. That's another one that I didn't reach out to him personally because we put my lamb, but like I reached out to a whole lot of people to go and help him. You know, and then we started like a campaign to, you know, basically encourage him, like a social media campaign, just to remind people who Zola was. You know what I mean? And then through that campaign, then people started demanding an account number for donations, and then he was like reluctant at first. No, kept pushing. Just give us the account number. Then he finally posted the account number. And then when he got those donations, I think that was like, damn, people are really lifting me up. Those donations weren't about giving him money. It was just like saying, yo, you contributed to us growing up, you know, and having dreams for ourselves bigger than us. So that was just about teaching him how important he is, you know, that he can't let himself fall off. You know, and then from that, there was him getting interviewed by MacG, you know, and that became a big deal because it was done in the cinemas. Like, there were 3 different cinemas. I even flew down to Cape Town to go and watch it in Cape Town. And that was a packed house, you know, watching a podcast in a cinema as well. It's like when you watch Tsotsi and Zola was there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sharp.
So that really like encouraged me in terms of like, you know, feeling like there is work that can be done to redeem some of our heroes that, you know, have fallen by the wayside maybe. Yeah, so that was important to do. Yeah, man, a whole lot of other people. I mean, but it's risky doing that thing. I did the same thing for, what's his name, Big Kota. No, I'd seen Donayam. Like I was just meeting him. Like honestly, like he dropped that fire track, whatever. He was in Joburg. And I could see that. Okay, fine. The hip hop community is not gonna embrace you because you dissed everyone. But you know, let me at least come close and, you know, give you some mentorship. And then I don't know what happened to him after that. He's like, yo, no, this guy's trying to own me, whatever. So I was like, bro,
what happened?
I don't know. Like Abad Manjalo, it's like they try to use you for clout. You know what I mean?
Shit.
They try to use you for clout, and then when they feel like, yeah, they can now talk shit about you for clout, they then do that. And for me, it's like, you know, I mean, I'm a very skilled, highly capable person. So if you feel like you wanna, I'm just saying, like, if you feel like you wanna say fuck to me, it's gonna be a very long time. It's gonna be a very long time. No, bengafuna ukuminya. But bengifuna ukubonisa ukuthi ale le ngayiminya.
Ngayiminya vele wona.
Yakuthi ama security.
Mana uyabonakala ukuthi uyemsawawa. Uyabonakala ukuthi uyemsawawa. Not hiding industry. This one mabathi bajaha ama steps bewa calculate. Abenze bajahile labo. Bayabala ukuthi hey bokuminya ewatrenda ndoda.
No, the thing is this. Mbuye Soweto. Right, my family's been in Soweto since what? My grandmother was buried 1963. At Toronko. So, I mean, Toronko, that's deep Soweto.
Deep Soweto.
So, I mean, my uncle, he passed away, I think, 3 years ago. My uncle, my dad's older brother, he lives somewhere around here in Zone 4. So that's, my cousins are out there, you know what I mean? In fact, both my uncles used to live here in Zone 4. And, you know, Slachis was here. Right here, actually. You know, right behind us. So, like, I'm deep in, I'm just saying, like, I'm deep in, like, my aunt used to own garages here in Orlando, in Dube. You know, yeah, the taxis used to park outside our garages. it never should come to that.
Mara buyisela phela buyile wena live ba.
No, I went to say no.
Sinini uthuka amaphoyisa baba nawo ungekungeze.
Yeah, no. My cousin is their boss. So.
Oh, yazi into engibamba yini ngibambela manje ukuhlisa kaningi. Kune side onala abantu abangalivezi ku social media. Wena like ukhuluma guys ngitshela nevar on air. Ukhuluma uzele inyuki yakhe. You understand? Mara.
Yeah, but you have to pay me back.
Yeah. So
Mara, you got it.
Yeah, Mara amasayita hali ungawali. Amasayita kanje abavezi.
Yeah.
Like bavezi ukuthi unothi uyabheda, inabayivezi ukuthi u reach out to you.
Umona, that's what it is. Like umona. That's it. It's just that, and like when I was a kid, yeah, in Soweto my dad drove a Benz. So no, but I'm just saying, like, you know, we're staying in zone 2 from this street in a 3-room house, or 2-room, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that, but because he drove a Benz, everyone calls him Ngabla. You know what I mean? So already I could feel that since I was a kid. Yeah. You know, so I always knew that certain things will make people feel some type of way. So I just like
move.
I just understand that, you know, people judge others not having walked a mile in their shoes, you know, and then, you know, they project their inferiority, whereas you don't need to do that. You just need to be a chilled person. It's just normal, typical Kasi mentality. Yeah. You guys know that you're in a double story. You understand? Yeah. So you know the other neighbors are like, fuck.
Hey, cause vele azilanga liqala kithi before lifika kuwo.
Or like mama nigi washing ubabhekile.
Ubabhekile. Mabathandaza babheka mina no Jesus. Angithi semoyeni sonke.
Yes. So that becomes a problem for people. Yeah. They don't tend to. It's called tall poppy syndrome. You know, so they try to cut you down. They try to find someone like. A lot of people, when they want to talk to me, they want to prove me wrong. They want to argue with me. And it's like, the thing is that you watch me and you're like, this guy, I can take him. But you're not in the gym. Yeah. Hey. You know what I mean?
Hey, I can say Jimmy.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see. At least I go cook and
it's like watching Chiefs and Paris play and you're like, fuck it, put me on the field. You can't even run me for 10 minutes.
On the ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't even, like, you know. So it's so much easier when you're watching it, and then.
So abantu bahlangana naye most of the time bafuna ukuchallenge. Noma bakuletha kuma podcast wabo bafuna ukuchallenge.
You know, so like sometimes that's annoying, you know. Yeah, okay. Because you're not learning anything. Yeah, but because you just want to prove yourself. Yeah, but and to me, I don't care.
Even Jesus has put to death.
Even like, Jesus. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You're not proving yourself to me. Sure. And you're doing yourself a disservice because you're not learning anything. So, you know, that's the annoying thing. And I wish we could do away with that, but it just stops people from being able to work with one another because they feel like, if I help this person or... And I understand where it comes from. I understand. I remember the trauma when I left the hood.
Talk to me.
Like all the other kids. I remember the trauma of the kids that I used to play with when we were leaving. I remember they were like, so you're leaving us behind, nearby. It must have upset me. You know what I mean? We even had like a sleepover, like at our house the day before we left. And then when we arrived in Olivedale, number 3 Carroll Avenue, right in the corner. Right next to Burger King. So, you know, for people who know that we're at number 3 Carroll Avenue. Yeah. So when we went there, like some of our neighbors came through, you know, and then like the alarm went off in the middle of the night because we saw it. It's 1993. We don't know how to switch off the alarm. Yeah, Salali Kala.
Is it? Yeah.
Kala the whole night. Extending my kilometers. Can you guys not hear the alarm? He's like, yeah, we can hear it. We just don't know how to switch it off. Oh, yeah, this is how you switch it off. And then yeah, that was our rival. Isibhutshweni.
Yeah, isibhutshweni nakhona najwayela ama-alarm ngithi ama-siren waselokishini ama-ambulance.
Yeah.
So sesegazini.
Salad.
So khona laba ungitshele ke kuyonke le jeni wasuke elokishini whatever, but then still wasipana nayo zaselokishini webhayi usebenza in-rap life. You understand? Kwenzakaleni leyo jeni uze kanjani ukuthi yazi nothi ngicala into so?
No, like I told you, like I went to a high school where most of the kids that went Babuye Lokshin. So I already knew that, you know, that's where our people are. You know what I mean? And you need to meet people where they are. And I also knew that the gap in opportunities is when my parents took us. You know, I was like, damn it, why couldn't they take all my friends as well?
Sure.
You know, when I went to nice schools, I was thinking, damn, I wish like, you know, we used to live across the street from me on Fundizi Street. I wish he could have come through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I went to a nice private school with a small class, I wish Ubobo could come through. You know what I mean? Who lived with me this side. When we were in Deep Roof, you know. Another guy, like maybe there was another guy called Pumlan. Like this is a long time ago, it's 31 years ago, sorry. So, you know, Pumlan used to stay on the other side, and you know, he had a problem because Pumama Finyela, it was like old, it was like 10 or something. But as I started getting older, I started seeing that, you know, for guys, the gas is the worst place to be because there's expectation because you're a man or you're a guy, but you need to do something with your life, but at the same time there's no opportunities. And the opportunities are only for women, you know. It's like take a girl child to work there, all these types of things. And those opportunities are just destroying our communities. Because if you look at Isoweto as a whole, like most kids that graduate are girls.
Nabaspala grand.
Girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even back in apartheid, the guys would be working in the garden, the girls would be working inside the house. You know what I mean? So further and further away from opportunity are the black men, and then the black women get elevated for that, and they get elevated in spite of there being, you know, black men that are capable. And when you think about it, it's like, you know, it turns everything around because now, like, a lot of girls are looking after their families, which isn't a role that they should be having. You know what I mean? They take care of their family. So when they get married or whatever, it's like now the boyfriend now needs to adopt the girl's family. Like, does she not have brothers? And it's like, yeah, she probably does, but they won't get the same type of opportunities she gets. So it's, you know, it's up to us to basically change that. So that's why I invested a lot of my time and my skills in helping Amachita Sekas, because, you know, that's where it was needed. And, you know, it changed a lot of things. It inspired a lot of things. Because then I started seeing guys, you know, pushing themselves. I mean, we used to come perform here in Abo FEs, in Abo KE. Like there was this other spot here, next to this liquor store here. It was like a little small club back in the day, not so long ago. And, you know, I could see how they were moving and how they were pushing, but they just didn't have someone like me on their team who is able to, you know, understand how to take this music from Ekasi and sell it in the boardrooms, you know. And that's the big difference, you know. It's like the guys Ekasi have the talent, but they don't have the business acumen and they don't have the relationships or the experience to push it further than that, you know, to commercialize it and fully exploit it. So that's the drawback that they have. And then also they don't seek those people, you know. And if they do, it's like they look for white people. And white people don't understand you, they don't understand your culture. Like the gas just to help. Or to make money when they've got like, oh, Converse is doing something, and then the white people are there, they work for the company and they go away.
Or the company DA.
Whatever. Whatever the case. You know. And so, you know, for me it's always been very important that it's like survivor's guilt. So because I feel that survivor's guilt that when I was a kid, the kids I grew up with, I couldn't do anything and I left them behind. I don't want to, now when I'm in a position to help, still be leaving my brothers from emotion behind, you know? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So, it replied the fit repeatable quest,
Well, I mean, yeah, so Rap Life was like a brand thing that Amachita wanted to do. So I wasn't really like part of it or anything. It was just a project that they wanted to do to get other artists on, you know. So originally the plan was to take on TLT. So TLT, Amachita Sekasi, and I think like what TLT were doing in terms of like the sound, it gave us a lot of inspiration when we're making Dakar 2 to give it a distinctly Gasi feel.
Yeah.
You know, and also not rely too much on trap, because trap was everything at the time. So if you listen to Dakar 2, disc 1, start to finish is all trap, and then disc 2 is where we get experimental with the sound. There's R&B, there's Kwaito, there's, you know, there's a little mix of everything. So by doing that, you know, I didn't want to make the Kwaito-esque sound like a Questa sound.
Yeah.
We tried to mix it up a lot. You know, even like when it came to dropping singles, we dropped singles that sound very different. And then I wanted TLT to take on that lane, but it wasn't a signing as in like to sign them and have them on the label, because I told Amachita already, I was like, bro, anyone else that you're bringing onto is not my priority. I've got one priority, I'm working on that, and that's it. So you guys have to take care of these guys that you're adding to the fray. So that's when the whole entire Rap Life thing came about. So I was like, yo, you guys take care of that, you know. I mean, I've got one main focus. And then when Kid X jumped on board, I mean, in Kid X was working on 3/4 pace.
Yeah.
Like, spent a lot of time. I mean, we were just hanging out, like either way. So making music, whenever I'd be making music, I just come to where he is, go to his studio, you know, work on ideas. And then he put together 3/4 pace, and then, you know, Cashtime was not willing to put it out as an album, you know. So I was like, I'm fine. When I just drop it, you know what I mean, drop it on your birthday, in fact. And like I think a couple of days before his birthday, like, okay, no, I think I've got the songs, let's go to PH. And then PH sat there for like 2 days mixing it, and then we uploaded it on his birthday, maybe around 5 or 6 p.m. And then by the next day, it was sitting on like or maybe we uploaded it like at 4 p.m. then. And then he shares a birthday with KO.
Yeah.
So after we uploaded it, that's when we went to KO's party. Or maybe KO's party was the next day, where they were still staying at the Cashtime house back in the day. They had a house in Poskrin, where they were all staying. No, my E.
Yeah.
And we got there, and then that's all everyone was bumping. But it was a release outside of the Cashtime rollout and the plans. It's just as much as Phyllis and Shanga. I said, no, dog, you've got everything. You've got social media, you've got Instagram, you've got all these things. By the time we got to the party, which was a couple hours later, it was already sitting on over 100,000 downloads. You know, and it is just moving. So from there, you know, it got nominated for a Sama, you know, the same year that DJ Slick was nominated for Best Remix. The Summers was in Durban that year. So we got a Sama for Do Like I Do remix, you know. And then when was it? Was it the following year that we dropped, or the year after that? That's when we dropped Dakar 2 2016. So that was 2014. Got nominated for Summer 2015, and the following year, 2016, we dropped Dakar 2, and then 2017. That's when we swept at the Summers 6 summers in one night, and then I think I'd already started working on X's album. So I think I started working on X's album when we finished recording Dakar 2. So that was finished recording Dakar 2's in November, at the end of November 2015. That's when I submitted the album, you know, and then went straight into start working on X's album TDK. And then I think we dropped singles in the build up, you know. There was a song called Laundry Day Fresh, you know, which was like a different feel as well, but it was very housey.
Yeah.
And so that project was like stretching the sound as well. But while working on that, was also finding a new sound for TLT. So we made a song called Nice Life Problems.
Nice Life Problems.
That we're trying to make a new age mbube. So that was the genre, and then I was like, yeah, this is your guys' sound, you know. Nice Life Problems was a song that we made while we were still making the cut to, but then I was like, no, TLT must have this track. Then gave it to TLT, and then also Markwa was making music himself, so then he was recording Namachita, like a whole lot of features, and like, now you need your own song, like your first single, and you need to be on your own on it. So I wrote Ndwana S6, like I put it together, like he just had a hook idea for it, so then I put a verse on it, and then from there I was like, yeah, no, you'll finish it, you add your own 2 verses after this. And yeah, we dropped that as a single as well. Dropped a couple of singles with Markwa. The other one was Inamba, which featured X, Senzo, and TLT. And that one was also pretty dope. So with the success on the Questa project, we're able to invest some of that into helping Amachita, TLT, you know, basically get out there and build a name for themselves. I mean, if you just look at the guys' music videos, you can see that, like, from when they started to when they ended, you know, by the time they got to, what is this song, Mbube, or no, Mazuzu, with Tapsi, by the time they got to that point, you can see that the production had grown. We brought in Kezaga. Like one day Mark told me, he's like, yo, there's this kid, he won the competition, the DJ competition, the fill-up DJ competition. He's from Rustenburg. So then I called Mark, I was like, okay, I'm going to Rustenburg today, so come, tell your boy, Kezaga, we'll meet him there. And he's actually from Northern, which is not really too close to Rustenburg. It's actually, it's in Limpopo, but it's right between the border of Northwest and Limpopo.
Okay.
He came to that thing, we met, and I told him, no, come to Josie next week. When he arrived, like, yo, here's a camera, here's equipment, start shooting music videos. These guys are working on a mixtape. And I got the guys to, you know, record like maybe 5 or 6 music videos for their mixtape, and then for them to start generating the ideas for their visuals, to learn how to do that, you know, and for Kezaga to also then have the skills, and then he built his own media company, Wayward Media, off of that. So that whole entire ecosystem was just about, you know, giving the guys skills and then helping them do their own thing. And then like that infrastructure is then, once I left and everything else, that's when Big Zulu came in, and then they turned it to Mugabe Records, and then yeah, everything's still, you know, I guess continuing from there. They've got what? They've got Luandlu
Musicolic.
Is Musicolic there? I don't know. I don't know. I know Luandlu and Musicolic. And the other guy who we worked with was my former partner's younger brother. So he was studying at MIG or MGI, Nigerian Graduate Institute, studying marketing. So then I got him an internship at Sony to learn the music industry, the recording business. spent like 6 months doing that, you know, which is the limit that you can do. And then we started training him, made him a road manager, and then from there, I fired him.
Why, but
I just got too big for his boots.
Man,
So fired him, and then I spoke to Moby Dixon, said no, he knows the job, so hire him. And then he ended up working with Moby Dixon, so he could work in an environment where, you know, it wasn't like nepotism. Put him on, and then he grew from there, and then he ended up signing MAPHORISA.
Hey.
Yeah.
Shana, mana wena la hamba khona kuyamila utshani wawe.
Yeah, I know.
Ukuthi media nje kupenda kabi.
It's not media. It's just haters. People are jealous. Like, I'm serious. So I understand why they're jealous. So it doesn't make me mad.
Yeah.
I understand. Like, you know.
Yeah, from Itala again, we have a pen. So when I'm out, I'm going to khwapa na futhi na mara.
It's not even. No, it's not. It's just from khwapa na. No. I don't know. He went on to some interview and then ended up talking nonsense about me. And I'm like, you know, the problem is that, you know, sometimes when you treat people nicely, like all these guys, they had a bed to sleep on in my mother's house. You know what I mean? If I had 300 rand in my pocket, I was spending 150 on myself and spending 150 on Marco. That's what I'm saying. Like equally.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy him chicken licking wings and then go buy myself a ribeye. No. You know what I mean? So for me, it's more of that Kasi mentality. Like, you know, people want to self-sabotage themselves. So you fire shots at the person who is not your cousin, your brother, or anything. I've got no reason to help you move forward in life in any way, shape, or form. Like, I don't owe you anything. You know what I mean? I never borrowed money from your family long time ago or anything. Like nothing. Nothing at all. Except for the fact that I helped you move forward in life.
Yeah.
And then once you turn around and then, you know, it's the reason why a lot of people are discouraged. That's why guys don't help each other, because they know that once this person now gets to a certain level, sales on fork. You know what I mean? Which is it's like, we're lacking Ubuntu. You know, and it's disappointing. You know, it's disappointing because it's like, you know, people say, hey, no, whatever, no, hey, Umakwa, whatever, they need you, whatever. I was like, bro, this person, I helped him with nothing to gain for myself. And then he shat in his well. Now this person has shown me who I am. I mean, I must go back. I must be the idiot. And not a fucking chance.
Because when and the money in some offenses, they want to pay my drugs. They want to.
Yeah, but that was the thing. He was taking Xanax and lean and all that shit. That's why I came to his house and I spilled all that shit down the fridge. You know what I mean? Until they know EQ that, and I was like, EQ when's that? You can see that this person. Yeah. And I'm like, you didn't watch that video? EQ is there in the house. I'm like, EQ, you're here. You're seeing this person. He's not in the right state of mind. He's drinking lean the whole entire time. And when you are focused, I know you don't even drink this lean. You know what I mean? So you just want to use this guy because he's drunk and whatever, you can get whatever you want for free, and then you're going to go somewhere else once he's fallen off.
Yes.
That's just the customer mentality. It's like, if I can use this guy, let me use him while I can use him, and then move on to the next person, move on to the next person. People don't think long-term. You know? Long-term relationships are what keep people wealthy.
That's about to not bend the bridges.
Yeah, you know.
Mara bakhona ngicela ukubuza yini ngale nto yamazene enhle kunama, because no Jmula ngibheke overdose amazene afuna commit suicide. Akuyapi kwenzakala.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Right, so the kids want to experiment with drugs. It's what they see on TV. So you see, when I was saying, yo, this American wannabe shit, we must stop it. It was for two reasons. Number one, I don't want Indwana Zasekas to be little Americans because they're losing themselves. And then number two, I'm seeing what these little Americans are doing, right? I don't want Indwana Zasekas to be influenced by little Americans and become this pill-popping generation. And that's what we've got right now. These kids are doing lean and all this type of shit. And you see that, damn it goes straight from Lil Wayne's music video to gas, direct, via MTV base.
Via MT.
MTV based. Like you see it on TV now, they're leaning. That's what they see on the TV. You know what I mean? And we don't have the resources to take care of a whole drugged out generation, you know, of young kids.
Because namanje azimakhuluma kanje ngivele ngibheka nalento yepiano yalibona ipiano selihambile seliya Kara States. What do you think about that? Like abo Chris Brown baligibela.
Yeah, no, not really. It's not really a problem. Baligibela, but you know, aligibele.
Mala wena. Ngifaka wena asithembise namabhalothi lapho sofude lo Hotman.
No, bayazama ukugova mara hayi. Agoveki.
Ende mara bafethi ipiano lishane phela yilo manje le-international susine R&B.
Yeah.
So wena ucabanga ukuthi abantu bafuna ukusithathela lento le?
No, like the Nigerians, yes.
Ilabo bathatha wasana, yes.
It's not that bathatha wasana. It's just that we need to understand that we are the cheese boys of Africa.
Eish. This one.
You understand what I'm saying? So like they hate us.
Yo.
They hate us. They hate seeing South Africans succeed. They hate seeing South Africans prosper. They hate the fact that we have elections and then people call out that our votes were stolen, but we go to court. We don't kill each other.
Yeah.
Say court.
Yeah.
So court. Yeah. Court, but so land the court.
Because very
court.
Tina siba mjenga cause jana sendlini. Hayi uthi masilule sendlini. So but sikhulumeni.
Yeah. Exactly. So they hate that about us. You know what I mean? And there's nothing they can do about it. It's just that it's just who we are. So all the other kids, the poorer kids, are going to want to take what's ours. They're gonna want to steal our pencils, our pencil case. They're gonna want to take. You know what I mean? And that's just the thing. The problem is that a lot of the guys that are in the space right now, they're not ready for AI.
Hey.
So AI can make 100,000 beats in 30 minutes. There's 100,000 songs uploaded on Spotify each day. So once the AI, you can put in, make me a Calvin Momo, Gabza the Small, then do that type of beat. They're done. You know what I mean?
Yo.
So that's the big challenge. So we need to be innovating in that space because don't worry, they're going to be doing it that side while we still have the advantage of the culture.
Shit.
But another thing that you notice is that, you listen to this Drill Album remix.
Yeah.
Burna Boy. As soon as Burna Boy came on, it was like, that's one. And that's because, we've shaped the narrative. So I think, when did I do that MacG podcast? I did it sometime 2020,
Yeah.
2020, and I was like, by the time we get our hands on Nigerians, would have stolen the sound and everything else. It's because I saw it was coming, and I also knew that if I say it now, like, people are going to do something about it. It's going to make them work hard.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. So then guys started working in the studio, and they started noticing, these Nigerians are trying to jack this out. You know what I mean? So even like a guy like Davido, because I chat to his manager a lot.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the people in his team. In fact, when he came to SA, before he jumped on Kista, I actually had a meeting with him. I had to wait 2 hours at his hotel.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was busy, but it was fine. He didn't have superstars. I waited 2 hours, my later. We sat down, and I chatted to him. I was like, yeah, hop on the sound, but I want you to do it ethically. You don't just jump on the sound. You need to make sure you bring along South African artists when you do it, do it properly. So that's the approach he took. You know what I mean? As in featuring a South African artist. The other guys that you see like Ashake, etc., but now they were just like, damn it, this thing is moving faster than Afrobeats. So if I'm still on the Afrobeat sound, I'm behind. So let me hop onto this sound, move with it, and then push myself. And then that's basically changed the trajectory of the sound, because now, the rest of the Nigerian artists were looking at this guy who came from Norway and is now one of the biggest Nigerian artists, And then Costa Chich, that's another one. He's adhering to the sound. I always warned, I was like, this guy's gonna be bigger than Nasisi and Aries, and if you look at his streaming numbers, I mean, he killed it. Like when I'm like in the Hispanic neighborhoods in the States, they play not what's that song is?
Galagat.
Not Galagat. They play the other one.
Which one?
The piano one, the big one.
Hey, that is gang songs.
The one with Akon on the remix.
Yeah,
Big Flexer.
Yeah, quite Flexer. That's the Kaka Big Flexer. Yeah, shout out to that song.
Yeah, Big Flexer. So Young Galagat.
Yeah, but
Big Star like Ford.
Zola.
Yeah, that's the song. So it just was sad that he couldn't live to see his success globally, and so the sound is developing. But yeah, this year has just been a terrible year for piano.
Yazi khona manje nokela kwalento isho kunento ngifuna ukuyiclarify angazi ukuthi uyazi la uyamazi umuntu like beka manager show majozi like uthanda umthatha ukuthi akwazi ukushaya ingoma na ku John Cena.
No, I think that one was like I mean the team that was managing her is the team that's managing Tyler now.
Oh, so differently.
Yeah, so that was her management team, but the guy that was doing her visuals, Garth, he's the founder of the record label that took it there. So I think she did the song John Cena and it just blew up on the internet, and then
John Cena
he was doing a promo tour at the time, PR tour, so they thought, okay, this is dope, let's fly this African girl in because this thing is blowing up on the internet, and then let's make her dreams come true. She meets John Cena, so it makes good television.
Mara la uthi kusho ukuthi ine plug because nangu Tyler nesekani grave like in a plug la states la.
No, like why are you assuming they're out in a plug?
Yeah, that's why
it's got nothing to do with that. It's like Tyler made the right song, she found a hit that could be worked, and then that's the hit turned into a Grammy. Like who were they going to give the Grammy to that year? No one else. It was the first year they were doing a Grammy for African songs, and that was the biggest song by an African artist. Simple. It's timing. Everything is timing. So everyone's like, yo, no, Tyler's rise is too fast.
Yeah, but I mean, this is
what about Ice Spice here?
Nah,
I'm just saying, what about her?
Nah.
She just came up because I mean, Sexy Red has been in the game for longer than Ice Spice, but Sexy Red only popped off after Ice Spice. Why? Because Sexy Red is not as pretty as Ice Spice. No, it's a fact.
Yeah,
a hot girl always moves fast. You know what I mean? It's pretty privileged.
Yeah.
So Tyler's is pretty. You know, she's breathtaking. You know, like even the first time I met her, I told her like, yo, like everything that you're doing in the States is gonna pop off. You've got the look. You're a star. You know what I mean? You've got that presence. Just keep that up. And then even just before she dropped the water, like we were hanging out when I was still in New York, and I was just telling her that, yo, you've got everything that it takes. Don't doubt yourself. You know what I mean? And she's a very smart girl. I mean, she's very young, but just from the conversations that I've had with her, like I can tell that, you know, she knows what she's doing. Like it looks like she doesn't know what she's doing, but that's how you know she knows what she's doing. Yeah.
Yo, so bafethu yekela nikhuluma lento esikhulumayo phela thina sasikhulumela ngithi uyazikhuluma.
Nah, Tyler's a bankable. She looks bankable.
Yo,
they put on the Balmain dress, which is one of the biggest brands at the Met, and she got like the most coverage. She got the most reposts. They made the most money off of her images. Even though Zendaya got a little bit higher because Zendaya is a bigger star in terms of they've known her for longer, right? If you look at it over time. After that first couple of days, Tyler made much more publicity and money for that whole entire thing, the sand dress that she wore, than Zendaya did. And she made money outside of the North Americas, you know what I mean? Outside of Europe, you know, and the Middle East. So it is what it is, you know?
Yeah. No. So njengoba vele sisikhuluma vele ngepiano yabo ngifuna nje njengoba libuya like go space say hip hop and was more part industry yini into ebona ngathi senza wrong ezilentwana lezi esifika manje industry njengoba soshilo ukuthi siba amaboss wethu mana sama artist enze imali phezini izinto sikwazi ukulungisa because nathi asazi.
Yeah, just learn your business that you're entering. Like, take yourself seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Think about this.
Yeah.
Do I want to still be making money when I'm 70?
Yeah.
Off of this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people give up on their careers. They're like, yeah, no, my career is going to do everything for me while I'm still young. And then I'll retire at 30 and go into another job or whatever. But this job is tiring. You think you're retiring at 30 and you find you're retired, but you're tired. Your energy, your creativity is not where it was anymore. You know, I mean, you feel like you've used your best ideas. Everything else, you know, it takes its toll on you. So you can't guarantee that when you're 30 you'll be able to transition to something else. You know what I mean? And if you're using your best years on something, it better be something that can be sustained. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, take yourself seriously. It's like, study the business, know the business, you know what I mean, and know your place inside the business, and be disciplined. That's another thing, is that guys lack discipline. Yeah, they just, you know, they let themselves go too much. And keep a sharp mind, you know, because that's your most powerful tool. Yeah. If you don't have a sharp mind, yeah,
yes.
Yeah, because, you know, it's a dog world out there. Yeah.
Because vele ngifuna ukubuza vele in terms of ukuthi abapha distributor grand, abapha publisher grand, abapha ngifuna ukushaya advert bese siyifakela lapho.
Nah. Distribution is distribution. You shouldn't pay more than 20%. Like, you should aim for to only pay like a 5% distribution fee. You know?
Yeah.
And then when it comes to anything else, you need to understand that if you're distributing with a distributor, independent distributor, you're not going to be prioritized because the major labels, they own the streaming platforms. So the first top 10 spots on the playlists are owned by the majors, and then the independents are there. So if you're an independent artist, you need to break out of the playlist system. You need to blow up with a TikTok challenge or blow up on the streets. You know what I mean? So your rollout plan is the most important thing. How are you gonna gain attention for your music, you know? How are you gonna be able to gain attention for your music outside of being on the featured playlists, you know? Because like 80% of the plays come from playlists. That's why you find, like, when a Kabza releases, his song will come on the charts. But if you look at his songs, they're on so many playlists and within the top 10 positions of that playlist. So people, like, the top charting playlists are the most played things on any of their platforms. And that's why they get a whole lot of, you know, incidental plays without people actually going out there to search for the song. But if you've got a song and you're not on the playlist, people actually need to search for your song. So it's best if your song is heard everywhere, you know what I mean? If you're making sure that the DJs have it, it's playing at the venues, at the clubs, people are shazamming it, and then they're searching for your song, and it gets directed to them. And the more searches, the higher up you go up in the algorithm, the more playlists then you get. And once you start getting into the playlist and you start topping the playlist, then you just need to drop very frequently. And if you drop frequently and you're in the playlist, you know, your streams will just go up and up and up and up and up and up. Yeah, and then once you're in that momentum, you're in. You know what I mean? When Kabza drops, it's top of the charts. When Calvin One drops, top of the charts. You know? As for who you're distributing with, that's irrelevant. A lot of people think that the distributors do the work for them. They don't. You need to do the work. You need to market yourself. So what I'm noticing is that people don't have rollouts. They don't have rollouts. They don't know how to roll out an album. They think, oh, I just shoot a video, I just put it up on images. You don't have a rollout. You know, you're not working. Like when we were rolling out Inomayini for Dakar 2, which is the first single that we dropped on Dakar 2, we used to go around the country, going to different parking lots, you know what I mean, shooting videos of helping people park, you know what I mean, just to get Nomayini out there, you know, Nomayini, without the song, Nomayini, Bozayam, Nomayini, you know what I mean, so we created a little thing, and then people then start sharing that content, Nomayini, Bozayam. By the time we attach the song to it, there's already a whole lot of content that people have been sharing. It's like a little challenge, and we're doing it only on Facebook at the time. And then it starts picking up, and then it picked up via our Facebook base, because the song didn't really blow up on radio, because we dropped it like maybe a month after Roll Up dropped. We had the song, and then Roll Up dropped, and it's like, damn, it's the same song. It's like the same song, except Roll Up is just a different type of singing. But if you listen to the beats side by side, Noma Yin and Roll Up, it's basically the same song. It's a trap sing along. And so we just grew it slowly. You know, I think we dropped it in August, and Roll Up dropped at the end of June. Yeah, at the end of June that year. So we just built it up slowly, and then we saw that at the shows it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But it was just a teaser, you know, because we knew that Ingut was going to come at any moment. And then, but once that drops, it's going to just take everything up a notch. We waited, and then I realized just before we were about to drop, that year, that December. We're actually planning to drop at the end of November. We're actually planning to drop 25 November.
Okay.
Yeah, we're planning to drop 25 November, but a week before, like 3 days before then, right? Yeah, when I submitted the CD, so they were going to the master, and they were going to upload it for it to be up by the 25th of November. And then I went to Ambitious Studio, and then I heard Avery, which was going to drop on the 27th of November. And I was like, and I called the office. I was like, no, stop. Move the release date. I was like, yeah, no, already Roll Up is already outpaced Noma Yin. And then we're going to be in the summer submission for that year, 2016, May. So then I was like, we're not going to have enough time to catch up. Even though we got Ingut, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to put like Ingut versus Roll Up. I don't want to risk it, because then it might be a 50-50, you know what I mean?
40.
And I was trying to make sure that we sweep. So like, I know, let empty go. And then you got there, you won 3 summers, I think. And I was like, I know, well done. We'll be back next year, we'll double it.
What happened next year?
I doubled it.
Mara, into you notice now as in when behind into the bias in cases are never doing. The out to fire Mara by Tolum Seventy. Omakwa behind, empty behind, like when you are fixed up behind, we want to buy it in public, we say two.
Manja.
Yes. I like him OG. So, God went down. Umshedule into spy fandag into spy is never ngazazi bese ngekho na internet ngiqala ukuzizwa la kuwe fandag. No. So manje ngifuna sikhulume ngento enzakala izolo.
What happened this year?
Angithi wonile izolo sesi ANC.
Oh ni DA.
Wena wewe.
Ni MK mina. Ngekho. Kwenzakaleni izolo?
MK ngekho wona itasi.
Angibona ngasaka.
Kwenzakaleni? Yanyi uRamaphosa siphethe.
Hawu. Madoda, nivuma kanjani le?
Konje ba
yabona. That's why besingekho eThinga.
Why bengekho?
Hayi, asiwana namasimba. Siyelani. Ngeke sothola umlungu thina.
Bathi manje konje igama lakhe maliphelele liyangishaya. Stien but
Hayi Stien izini analyst what analyst whatever.
Manje what?
Lo DA. Deputy Speaker.
Yeah. Nabona sisi wami asikwazi mara diphume number 2 kanjani. Uzoma siyabazi. Bekumele kahle kahle ithi ANC, maybe ithi EFF, ithi MK bese bashaya collision way 3.
Yeah, but that's, you see, that's the problem. Even then, it's still not enough support. You see, mina ndeng funa uyibona. The EFF started a thing with UDM and Al Jamaa and UAT and ATM called the Progressive Caucus. I want them to bring Patriotic Alliance into the Progressive Caucus. I know Gayton McKenzie is a capitalist and everything else, but he can be persuaded otherwise, because him personally being a capitalist might be good for him as an individual, but it doesn't serve the colored people who are the people that he's lobbying to get the support of, right? So he needs to now get credible socialists to help him with the PA's policy direction. You know what I mean? So if they can pull him into the Progressive Caucus, right, so that he can pull the Progressive Caucus into the GNU, Because there's no opposition. You saw what happened yesterday.
Yeah, you saw what
It's
happened
not that
yesterday.
being a big lang. YouTube.
MK, wow, I said killer.
Yeah, so love my comments. Sit up, big YouTube. Yeah, help big YouTube. So the progressive caucus needs to be brought into the GNU because there's no opposition. You saw it was a whitewash.
Yeah,
It was like okay, you can hear Abu Floyd, they're trying, but like
and feel
like
and he teaches sport.
not like okay, you can say what you wanna say, ne? But you can't do nothing.
Yeah,
you can't do nothing. What are you going to do? You can't do nothing.
Next.
We've got EFF by the scrotum.
Yeah,
I've got the ruling party by the scrotum. Now they've got him by the scrotum.
Yes.
Because there at the bottom, it's like, yeah, you're talking, but...
And
Abong Amlabaya Tanda, they love when black people talk, and they're like, yeah, you Kafirs can't do anything. That's what they do. You understand? So it's like, so we need the progressive caucus to be part of the GNU. Why? Because if you look at the progressive caucus and their votes, and then you look at the DA, IFP, Freedom Front. If PA moves, stays in the GNU, but moves to the Progressive Caucus, then what you have is that you've got ANC in the middle, you've got DA and Freedom Front on this side, on the right-hand side, and then you've got PA, EFF, MK, UAT, UDM, even ATM, and even add Bossa into that on the left.
Yeah, sharp.
You understand? Then you've got 28% on this side, 28% on this side. You know what I mean? So that's like 56%, of the vote on either side of the ANC's 40%. You know what I mean? So that's 96% of the vote. So it's all about we are able to now pull the ANC to either side. We need that block inside the GNU, and we need that block inside the GNU because what the GNU says is that they're going to give ministerial posts. So there are going to be people from the opposition parties or the other parties that are part of the GNU that are going to be given posts within the cabinet. So if the DA, if Freedom Front Plus, IFP, and whatever, they're going to get 7 posts in the cabinet. We need 7 on the other side. That's okay now. 7. Yeah. Exactly. So right now, what the EFF and them are doing by creating this thing, but not putting it inside the GNU, that they're losing power. And I understand why they don't want to be they don't want to be compromised. But because it's a whole entire caucus, take Zumula from Thingamajik, let him go into the cabinet. Take Olomisa, let him go into the cabinet. He's an old experienced guy. Take Gaten McKenzie because you're pap. And even though he's got no experience and then Nina as EFF MK, you'll stay on the opposition bench. Let them move out as the opposition benches, but you know that your votes go with this whole entire block.
You lead from the back.
You understand? You're leading from the back, and then you're also not compromised. You can't say, because you can tell the president, hey, you're doing wrong here. Because you know that not one of your people are inside.
Yeah, I'll compromise on it.
You understand what I'm saying? You don't lose anything. And also, you're not letting the DA win. Because now what they're doing is that they're letting the DA win. They're letting the DA win just to say, Nyaboni ANC in.
Yeah.
And we are suffering. So that they can say, Nyaboni ANC in. We are suffering. We're the ones who are suffering. You understand? So, you understand? So now you're going to allow us to suffer 5 years. And then you want us to vote for you, so that we can fix the suffering. But you let us suffer for 5 years and did nothing and just allowed the ANC to destroy us and move everything to the right. You understand what I'm saying? So already you're seeing, like, I mean, there's things like Fundi. Fundi wants to make money. They want to give people student loans. They don't want NSFAS. We should ban Fundi. There's so many other ways you can get credit. Give people credit for Shein, for clothes. Fundi provide credit for clothing, for school uniforms or something like that. I don't know what you can provide credit for, but don't make education a commodity.
Yeah, and the money has covered our fields.
Because what they're trying to do is that there's 2 things that they're fighting against, right? They're fighting against bringing down salaries.
Yeah.
Yes. If the whole of Soweto can go to school and go to UJ and whatever and events and do accounting, then there's going to be a whole lot of accountants. Yeah, so now when we're hiring accountants, we're going to reduce the salary offering because there's a whole lot more people waiting in line for the job. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so instead of opening up positions and everything else so we can absorb these newly educated people, we're closing down the companies, we're short staffing the thing, and then we're bringing down the salaries of the professionals as well. And you know what I mean? So they're fighting against that. So the people that are middle class that have these jobs in accounting, they're not going to support a whole lot of accountants doing accounting for free. The people that paid student loans and finished paying them off, it took them many years, they're not going to support now new kids getting free grants instead of loans. You know what I mean? And that's the problem, is that you want everyone to suffer like you suffered.
Yeah.
Which is wrong. You know what I mean? Which is wrong. We should be making sure that we democratize access to education, you know, and we just change the way in which we prioritize different skills. So a whole lot of people prioritize like the professional skills, but there are other skills that, you know, are just as meaningful. You know, a mechanic will always have work.
Yeah, very.
Always. You don't even need to leave gas lag.
There's
There's enough customers.
You food like us.
You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. So that's what we're losing out on, you know.
Yeah.
And so, like, I see what they're doing. They tried their ploy, but now they need to get into the GNU because they're gonna be left behind, and then we're gonna be left behind. That's they're giving the ANC to the DA and saying DA
slaughter them.
Yeah, so that works for them because they're gonna be like, okay, next election we're going to take more ANC voters, but you can still take those ANC voters and still help people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can do both. You can do both. So join the GNU, right? Join the GNU, sign up to the GNU so that you can get ministers in.
Yeah. So
that you've got eyes and ears inside cabinet, inside the executive. And then take up the oversight committees on the side between the MK and the EFF, because the DA won't be able to take over the oversight committees because they're already compromised. Because they want the bulk of the positions, right? And what happens is that if the DA is getting 7 positions, the DA, IFP and thing is getting 7 positions, and then the Progressive Caucus is getting 7 positions, right? They're going to give majority of the 7 positions to the most powerful parties. So the DA is going to take the majority of those, right? It's one party.
It's one party.
You understand what I'm saying? The Progressive Caucus, because they're so split up, they have to mix it up between different parties. So already that's weakening you. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing about using the smaller parties and giving them those positions is that you are giving them more strength. You are helping, but you're helping the weaker parties.
Yeah.
You know, the Cape Colored Congress, they can take a ministerial position. You know what I mean? They can take a position with Gayton. Hanif Hendricks can take a position from Al Jamal. You know what I mean? And then he takes those positions. And then you know that Magmashuba, we've got 25% sitting between EFF and MK. That's bigger than this 22% ADA. Magniwa.
Magshubi.
Yeah, bon. We've got bigger guns. We've got bigger guns on either side. They're taking it as if it's a defeat. And they're admitting defeat. They're admitting defeat, and like it shouldn't be like that. Because right now there's going to be a parliamentary inquiry into the Palapala case.
Yeah, Palapala case.
There's no way they can deny that, right? And let me tell you why the DA won't stop it.
Why?
Because they can't be protecting corruption. They have to be anti-corruption stance.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So the ANC's, that's their weak footing. That Palapala thing is their weak footing. It's going to split the vote in the ANC. And already Zbegwa, that's the first stress test of the GNU. You understand what I'm saying? So what's going to happen is this, is that the DA is going to say, Cyril, if you want us to protect you, send me NSFAS, send me NHI, send me what. And who brought this thing up is the EFF. So the EFF is shooting a bullet at Cyril, and then Cyril is going to ask the DA to defend him. And by doing so, kill everything.
Shoot this fuck.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why they need to join the GNU, so that they can say, okay, we'll withdraw this thing, but make sure NSFAS is in. Make sure NHI is in. Make sure this thing is in. Make sure this is. Don't leave Cyril with only the whites to help him. If you leave Cyril with only the white to help him, we're fucked. You understand? Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to isolate them. They're trying to say, okay, ANC, DA, marry each other, kill each other, die together.
Yeah.
And that's fucking us as black people.
Shit.
You understand? That's fucking us. What you need to do is saying, oh, ANC, here, you've got this partner, but you've got an equally powerful partner on this side. And this side, at least you don't lose your people. This side you lose your people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's the makeup. I mean, like Floyd followed me yesterday, so I sent him a DM, but he hasn't read it yet. I don't know why he followed me if he's not going to.
That was.
Obviously, he knows me. I know him. We've met a couple of times, but he changed his phone numbers. I mean, I've had the same phone number since 2006.
Abantu bachenja wena ukachenja.
Like, why do I need to change my numbers? It's like my numbers are on the internet. People can get my numbers or anything else. Like, I'm not hiding from anyone. Like,
Yeah.
why must I hide?
Yeah.
Like,
Yo. So,
you know what I mean?
so if I would say the politics lesiphila ayina
Ayina
Sazokhala.
because you're not involved, Nina. You don't involve yourselves. And then when I involve myself, nah, man, I wasn't in politics.
Yeah, not to music yabalabala upolitics yabala akathule eyakhuluma la don't know what ayilekhuluma kakhulu.
You understand? But they don't understand that when are they gonna get left behind? I mean, I'm gonna be talking. Corners of fields that nine dollar.
Oh, Melela.
When we tulile.
Oh,
when we tulile.
Yekuthola. Cause that's good umuntu engizwa number ku at 8 khona mali kwatile ufuna uku-expose i-system yethi kanjani. Like ufuna uku-expose ku-system vele.
What do you mean?
Bangitshele kanjalo ngawe. Bathi ufuna ukwatile nje kenye ufuna uku-expose i-system ngithi
no, I just expose the truth. Like that's
uringe varu.
Yeah, that's it. Ngizringela uvaru.
Wena umobhoza kahle kahle uyesigela. Like when you tell umobhoza yena ila lokha. Wena umobhoza uye ku proper scale.
Dog, all I have is metric.
Una metric pen. So le knowledge engakho uyithola phe study.
Self study. City library.
Yeah.
City library is closed right now.
Oh.
Can you see what's happening?
Yeah.
Can you see what's happening?
It's happening.
The City Library at level -4, that's where the archives are. So you can get all the old newspapers from like everything. It's all there. All the archives are there. That's where I used to live. I used to live in the archives.
That's why you are, because the method ekhuluma uyisebenzisa nase industry.
Yeah.
Because the nto because the way bayithiza kuya ngakhona ubonke udila nabo kahle. Unebhamu osibeke side.
Yeah.
That's why we MK.
Yeah.
Sometimes I make a mistake.
Nah.
Yeah. Nah. So
but Zuma used to work with my uncle.
Yeah?
Like my uncle is the head of ANC policy. He's the former premier, David Makura. He's my uncle because he's my uncle's best friend. So you know.
you know how
we are ducky ways.
Yeah, you keep it. Yeah, mama's the next door, mama.
Yeah, so I got him in favor. Like anything, I've never used them as a political connect. It's just you know, I know that the current ANC policy is written by him.
Oh,
yeah, and I used to argue with him about ANC policy since I was a kid. When they used to go to meetings and conferences and stuff like that. You know, I used to argue with him since I was a kid.
What's in way?
Nah, just like I was saying, one day you guys are gonna lose power. When I'm an adult, you guys are gonna lose power.
What's happening? What's happening? When I'm a twice, I'm taking the way.
No, it's obvious. You can see where things are going. You know what I mean? It's like I did an interview with this guy 2 years ago, Penal, and I said, yo, Ningamangal one day when John Steenhuisen is your president.
What's happening?
You saw that, ne? Yeah.
Yes.
The way things are going, one day John Steenhuisen.
Yo, I was
saying to fellow South African. Our John Steenhuisen, like, come on, dog.
I was dope.
Akule soft, about football. They're not street smart. You know what I mean?
So I was Jelly Future in South Africa. Is shooty
like right now?
Yeah.
People are dancing. They're busy in the piano. Yeah, but that's the problem. And the piano, like this year has been a terrible year for the piano. I'm gonna hit this year. What's a song that you can say that you Devin July no don't I am?
Oh, keep in mind, Dingan.
Funk 99. That was a hit in March.
Same machine.
Yeah, boy.
Same machine.
Same machine.
Leo comes with wax hit.
It's nice. It's nice, but I'm saying 7 July. Slimele. Slimele. I actually met one of the guys. What's his name? What is the names of the guys?
I don't know, I just know that they call it the high level. Zopra.
And then there's with an M, I think.
Yeah.
Lelang.
Yeah, they are calling. Hey, you know the Kwelu.
I met him. I don't know them. I've seen something. I don't know where I've seen something. And I was like, yeah, I've heard of it. I actually hadn't heard of it. I hadn't heard of it. I don't know. I can't tell. I couldn't put a face to the name. But the guy's like, yo, man, lovely to meet you. I just wanted you to know. Yeah. So, yo, dude, I met you today at the venue, Melrose Arch. Holla at me.
Yeah, the man is calling.
No, it's not money.
Awuhlangana into ezinjalo like into ucabanga ukuthi ufuna ukuyisiza ifuna imali yona yonke.
Nah, ifebe kuphela.
Ay, kwani the high level, kwani with the Nota.
Ifebe ifuna imali.
Yeah, it's winners.
No, just.
Oh. So, angifosically game ubhekeni ku SA Music like ubona kwenzakalani like future.
I'm scared.
Of what?
This year there's no hits. I'm serious. This is not a joke. I'm serious, guys. But like, I wasn't in SA when Nigga was blowing up, I was in the States. But the way it was shaking the States.
It was heavy.
I didn't feel like, yo, I need to get on the first flight home just to feel it at home. I could feel it even that side.
Yeah.
I missed Nigga. By the time I came back was 29 December. I was back on the 29th of December. Yeah. You understand? So I missed it completely. I never saw it. I never saw what happened. But like from the videos I could tell because I've seen what big songs do, ne? Dog. Since then it's like yo, Nigga was the peak of piano.
So you penny piano
like where's the hit? Like Imtandazo is nice, but it's like one of those songs that's like a slow burner that will last long and it's but it's not like yo. Like like stop everything. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So this year is almost July.
No hits from the piano way.
How long does it take you guys to edit? So if this is out by Youth Day tomorrow,
yo, so this is what
yeah, no, it's my last Youth Day. Yeah, I'm turning 35 next year, so I guess
I saw hope, yo.
It's my last Youth Day. So dog, it's just scary. It's like guys are relaxing, dog. Guys are chilled. You know what I mean? Guys are chilled. Like even the rated people drop. People used to drop albums and mixtapes and stuff like that. Now they just drop singles. Or if they drop something substantial, it's like a couple. It's a couple. What you call an EP.
I need to put it
yeah, but that's the thing is that you're taking advice from someone who's got a major label machine behind them and who's your competition. So are you really taking that advice?
Guys,
I mean, it's like a mouse taking advice from a cat.
Yeah,
we're gonna do cheese there.
So to hold man better
think about it. What's the quickest way to build your catalog? To drop projects, albums.
Yeah.
You understand? What's the best way to sell your album? To have a hot single on the album. If you drop the single by itself, the chances that people are gonna go back to listen to your album are very slim. So drop the hot single as part of an album, let people listen to it from start to finish. And then drop it like that, and then they'll pick up the other songs that they like in between. But then when you start picking up the songs start picking up, invest in proper music videos. None of this visualizer, TikTok video shit, this is nonsense. Because I look at your video and I say, Fana, you spent 10,000 on your video. And you want me to give you a meter? Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's stupid.
Malas Hotman or River and Nagoma meets and I'm a director Palama music video, guys, and be creative. No Pali music video, Muntume Moto, like onions any.
But the directors are not getting a chance to learn the skills because you're just taking any kid with a camera and then you're making him shoot.
Yeah.
You're not learning the skills. The director should be interning at film companies and doing that and learning how to shoot at the highest level.
Yes.
And then when you come in, you shoot at the highest level. And when you're shooting your videos, there's no way any Gaza video should be less than 500,000.
Yeah.
There's no ways.
Poor guys, I'm a video and I understand one of director.
It's because it's just one of the homies that can hold a camera. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I watched this other video, and I still want to talk to you about. I saw this new Major League video with Wiz Khalifa, right?
Yeah.
And it's shot with autofocus.
Huh?
So, I've got the skills. I know how to use a camera and everything else. There's no professional that shoots with autofocus.
No, shoot again, autofocus.
But I'm just saying they shot it with autofocus and everything else. So the picture quality is not. It's basic. It's not blurry, but it's basic. You know what I mean? And then also it's not they don't have a proper like steady cam. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? They didn't have a gimbal, a proper gimbal. You know what I mean? So. And you need the proper steady thing, the one that you, the full body suit, you know what I mean?
And then I'm a big brand, Kabam big brand, Mara was it. Then was also the upcoming and goes against Alentole.
Just Buffett, look at what we did with Wale. Spirit. Why has no one topped that video? Because, like, can I tell you something? I would shoot another video at that level, find another dope director, or find the same director, whatever, come up with a nice concept just like that. You know what I mean? But why? Because no one has beaten that. And that was 2018. So I've got no reason to. Like,
hey, Nani.
But still, you know, all the superheroes, not just him, Rick Ross, Rachel McQuan, Sabaletu Lokshin, just to say that, yo, we're not trying to make it in America. We're trying to show these Americans that we've got our own thing going on. You know what I mean? And that's historic. That's history. Yeah. We did it properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, when I was in the States, yeah. No, we still got a good relationship with the people on the team. So I made those networks. That's why I was able to do so much stuff. When I was in the States, I mean, a lot of the stuff I'm helped by their guys. You know what I mean? Their contacts. Yeah.
Yo, I have a faith in the hot man. I think I couldn't go shoni ilanga ke mara chiden. Ushiri into spine nathi bafethi ifozwa nganye kuze. Nezinto ezibharu iziclearile ngizizwe ngendlela mangilole ngimi research ngimi interview. But then hot man lami yabonga ukuthi uzile yabo.
No problem.
What more is not expected from when this is not a supporter as a hot man?
Not much this year.
Not much.
No. I'm just working low key. I mean, I've been recording music. I think I'm making an EP.
When?
Yeah, like I always planned. I had a plan to release an album this year. It's called The Post-Democratic State of Disorder. So, you know, like that's been the name that I've been working on for the past 6 years. And it just so happens that I plan to release it in 2024 when I thought that our democracy would turn into disorder. And, you know, just so happens you know, I was correct.
You know, but internet they keeping on more rap. But
yeah, and they didn't respond. I was ZINGAH, they didn't respond. But for people too, it's a matter.
Why, man?
Because I knew they're not gonna say shit.
Why am I shouting this question of Big Zulu?
Nah, I mean Big Zulu. It's not gonna...
Yeah?
No.
16 bars on a Big Zulu song.
Imagine. Why would I waste my time like that? I hope Big Zulu can rhyme. That's it. He can rhyme. I don't look at him as a rapper. I look at him as a guy who can rhyme. He's like pretty ugly. Those are guys that can rhyme. Like I was saying the other day, like name one pretty ugly bar that you know that. You understand?
Yeah.
Like Ipa, like one line by Pretty Ugly. That's like can shake your world. Not a fucking chance. You know, like that's the thing is like, you know, and it's so funny, ZINGAH. It's just like, you know, ZINGAH, I know him personally, so I know the type of person he is. So now all of a sudden he's got this podcast, it's moving, so he's acting like he's a new person. You know what I mean? And I'm like, nigga, you know, you're not fresh. You know what I mean? You're still the same nigga I know. Like, I can just see you're still the same nigga that I was like, yo, this guy is not gonna go anywhere. In fact, he's gonna weigh us down. No, because like we had to make that decision. I mean, like there was a point in time where we were going on tour. 2012, we had to beg him to come on the tour because it was like Cashtime. You can't just have X on the tour by himself. You understand? You guys are Cashtime. You're an outfit. So now we need to beg you because you feel like, yeah, I want to make X feel like he needs me.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying? And then Kara comes out, and then you get left behind by KO, even though you know you used to follow KO everywhere. You used to be his handbag, but then he put the other nigga on the thing, and then you step out and you're jealous and everything else, and now you're coming back with this podcasting angle, and then you're doing it, but the way you're doing it is like it's the wrong angle. Like Ufagabo Rashid, and no, Rashid is fine. The nigga that's always like podcast, but Rashid dog has no success to his name. You understand what I'm saying? No, he doesn't have any success to his name. There's not one person you can point to that's a big success that was successful. Even Big Zulu, you understand? He only became successful when he worked with my old team. You understand? That was the thing. That's the thing. Because Big Zulu used to beg to work with us. He used to come to Katlong when we were still in Katlong, be begging. And be like, yo, Fana, here's the focus. There's one artist here, that's it. And until he gets to the point where he can feed his family and take care of everything, we're not caring about anybody else. You know what I mean? You're not dividing the attention. It doesn't matter for how long. So only when that fell apart, then the infrastructure was still there. Big Zulu could then slot in, and the machine was so well trained that now you can make a success out of a guy who can just rap. You know what I mean? He's not really like the best music maker. You know what I mean? So I just watched the thing and like, yo, you're gonna bring some guy who's gonna say, yeah, I wanna compare Kid X and ZINGAH. I mean, Kid X and Pretty Ugly. And I'm thinking to myself, at which stage, like outside of Josie, who knows Pretty Ugly? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so now, what are you comparing it to? Where have his bars reached people? And you're like, no, this guy, he's more lyrical and poetic. And it's like, what? Have you listened to Ndano Muntu?
Hey.
Ndano Muntu, when he put Shui on a song.
Yo.
Have you seen that video? Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
You see the investment we put on videos. You see the investment we put on videos, dog. I mean, the guy's album was designed by Esther Maslau. Just like the Belvedere was designed by Esther Maslau. Just like the 7 Series was designed by Esther Maslau. Just like the Rolls Royce was designed by Esther Maslau. So when you name those names and you put X alongside those names, Belvedere, Rolls Royce, BMW, you understand what you're working with, Esther Maslau.
Yeah.
Where does Pretty Ugly fit in there? What culture shifting is it? You understand what I'm saying? It's not shifting any culture. I mean, who made it cool to rap in Ndebele?
Oh, the X. You know X.
The guy can rap in Setswana, in Sotho, in Zulu, in Ndebele, in English, you know, in Afrikaans.
X.
Like, Fana. Fana.
Over
Now you're gonna compare him to a babysitter.
Aye, man.
Fuck,
man. At least
that's what he said in his latest song. He said, babysitting. I'm babysitting you niggas, whatever. Because obviously niggas have been dissing him about babysitting. So, so now he tried to own it. So it's like, there's no owning that.
We know what it is.
There's no owning it. As a man, you can't. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, it's just for me. It's like, guys, let's not use these podcasts to fuck up the culture and to rewrite history.
Yeah.
And to disrespect one another.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So ZINGAH is like, dog, you roll with X and all this thing. X has never done one bad thing to do. He didn't own Cashtime. He's not the one that left you behind. That was KO, the guy whose dick you're sucking. You understand what I'm saying? No, I've said that before. The guy whose dick you're sucking, he's the guy that left you for dead. You understand what I'm saying? And he also left X for dead. That's why we had to drop the 3/4 paste tape on the side. Do you understand what I'm saying? All of that stuff.
No Roy, no low key,
And I told them from the beginning, I said, Vayanda. And I told them every time I saw them, Vayanda. Leave there. X some key, but for a reason. You're going there to die. You're going there to add, to make it look cool, so that he's got a posse. KO doesn't have friends. At all. There's no one that you know that is KO's friend. Wait. When it's KO's birthday, who posts pictures as a friend?
Hey.
It's only people from the business. He's got no friends. So he needs to have a posse, a crew, to make it seem like, you know, he's rolling with a crew. He comes from a group. He understands the dynamics of like, oh, now it's a squad. He understands those optics. You understand? That's why they get a Skanda Queen and they put a whole entire squad. Oh, it looks like a squad. It looks like a movement. He can't do it without the movement. Do you understand? So he's using those kids to plug himself up, and I'm like, man, I can see. Because I know what the fuck is going on. And I don't fuck with that. You know what I mean? I don't fuck with that. Either help these kids or get the fuck out of their way.
Clean.
You understand what I'm saying? Because when now you're trying to son them, you're sonning them. You want them to be your sons. And who's ever going to respect it? The industry has changed. A cosign does not help you anymore. Back in the day, a cosign used to help you. Oh, you've been co-signed by this big nigga or whatever, now you can be big. No, now it sons you. You understand what I'm saying? Because people are growing up off TikTok on their own.
Clean.
You know, the audience is choosing them by themselves without the intermediaries of a cosign or a label or anything else.
Yeah.
You know, so the whole entire discovery of music has changed. So now you need to change with that.
Yeah.
People decide. So the whole entire cosign thing is unnecessary.
Yes.
It's completely unnecessary. If you look at Ricky didn't sign any of those niggas. He helped them, he gave them resources, you know, but also, like, when I look at him and, like, you know, he left niggas for dead as well. Because that whole entire concept of, like, yo, let's do festivals on our birthdays and stuff like that, we got that from the house guys who used to do parties on their birthdays and at their houses, or, I mean, at either house parties or at clubs. And we made it into a big thing and a festival thing, you know what I mean? So, about Ricky, they got that from us, what we're doing. You know, with your 3-day birthday explosion, your Umshubelo and all those sorts of things. All those sorts of things. We brought that into the fray, you know, for the hip hop guys. And we used to do an exchange. I mean, even Keenan then ended up having the Super Mega Show, and then we used to do shows for each other for free. You know what I mean? Just pay for transport and it's all good. So then, when it then gets taken to a level of like Cotton Fest, it's like, okay, now we've progressed. But these artists that now you're putting on Cotton Fest, they're not our generation, they're these new kids, right? They don't have value. So now you're putting them on the lineup for free. And then every year there's new artists that are being put on the lineup for free. And then now you're no longer here to ensure that the guys are paying the artists fairly, because you understand what it is to be an artist, what artists go through. You've left it in the hands of business people who are just promoters. And now it's just a big exploitation ring. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even go to Cotton Fest because I'm like, why am I going there? Because I know I'm against these young artists being exploited. And also another thing is that the lineup is too big for any of the artists to benefit from it. The lineup is too big. You understand? So everyone gets lost. Maybe the crowd is there to see 3 artists at most. Everybody else is just an addition. And now that I've seen them at Cotton Fest, I'm not going to go to their show at a little at Kitchener's or whatever, when Kitchener's was still open. I'm not gonna go to their little show because I've seen them at this big stage. And now what you've done is that you've accelerated them getting onto the big stage, but they haven't developed an audience. And they will never get to develop an audience now. You know? Now they're just gigging artists. And if you don't develop an audience, you can't demand a fee. Because I need to know that, Fana, when you book me, I bring 200 people. You understand what I'm saying? I bring 200 people and they're paying $300 each. So when I'm guy 40 stina, because you're gonna make it 20 stina profits. You understand what I'm saying? You understand the maths? 100%. The maths. That's the maths that you need to be doing. You need to know that my crowd is this many people. You know? You put your event on Eventbrite, make tickets free, 0 rand, 0 cents. It's fine. Let people get used to RSVPing. Then you change it 50 rand. Then you change it 100 rand. Then you change it 400 rand. Yeah, you say 400 rand, you get a free t-shirt as well. You know, now you're selling merch and tickets at the same time, and then you're building your audience and you're building like the support that they give you. They know that okay, this guy we support by paying our money, and then he puts together a good show, and you develop and grow like that, and then that's your crowd. That's your crowd is Usmama. It's not Cotton Fest crowd. Yeah. You understand? Wherever you go, you know you can pull a crowd. And now all of you guys are on the Cotton Fest lineup. Cotton Fest is gonna have a crowd every year, and then when throughout the year you're just struggling. And then when Cotton Fest comes around and they offer you 5,000, you've been struggling the whole year, so you should just go to your side.
Yes. Bafethu yabona manje ngisekhamba namabhedu kwamanla azisifakele mandleni nje game ngishanga phakathi ngaphandle yazenzela bafethu make sure ukuthi uyeze so uzobuy ikwata kaSnothies uze kodwa enchila uzochila nathi one time kwamanla abantu abakufunayo bafuna ukuthola iwisdom from wena bakuthola kanjani.
Yeah, they need to pay for it.
Yeah, hey, you need to pay for it. Hey, yabhatala emhlabeni.
Yeah, that's it.
Ne, so nimgoogleni bafethu nizamthola inkinda.
Yeah, you'll find my contacts.
Ne, uzokhipha i-project isensho ukuthi ayisupporta uyikhulumile igama layo.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I'll have a rollout for my project. Don't worry about my rollout.
Don't worry. Utrend is big Zulu and uyazenza.
Yeah, that's that. So like, don't worry. My rollout is gonna come. It's coming. I mean, everything is part of my rollout. My rollout starts 6 years before I roll anything out anyway. It starts. I just build it in the mind. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you know, I dropped some tracks. You know, just to get the haters talking. Yeah. And build up a lot of haters, so that by the time I drop something serious, the haters are going to now be pushing that. They're gonna push it hard.
Mfethu mina wathi ngifakele emandleni yobona lokushini ukuthi kuthiwa nami nyogawule yami Kota awukhona manje ungepheka iKota ngidla yona ngidleni yami phezulu kwaloko ngegama ngendelazi udaba ukahlekho Tarena Mula aka Mr. Swethu bafele yamutseba aka Mr. Cool himself. Don't forget to like and subscribe and press the notification button bafethu the membership button to become an exclusive member and get exclusive content. Mangithi Soweto uthi sikethu ungasabumbulisa strategy senze izinto khona mana ngishaya outro space.
Soweto
sikethu
hola
dago